Good afternoon. This is South Africa and welcome to Cape Town. I'm here at the Stonehurst Guest House where 6 local artists will be exhibiting their artwork. Join me. I'm sitting here with Caroline Allen, one of Cape Town's most phenomenal artists. Caroline, welcome.
Thank you, Elsie.
What inspires you?
What inspires me, I think it's got a lot to do with my upbringing in South Africa, my roots as an African. Whether we're white or black, we're still an African, and I think there's a lot of ancestral energy that we draw from our culture here, whether we are open to it or not. I think it definitely has an impact on who we are. And for me, it's definitely nature more than anything. I always say, if I want to find God, I go into nature. Nature has a magical way of filtering out anything that's going on that's not necessary for our highest good, and then allowing us to see, where it is we should go.
You're not only into painting, you do fabric as well. You told me about the fabric you're creating. Where can we see that?
It's on any of my Instagram social media platforms. It's at the moment, it's more private clientele or interior architects or decorators I've worked with that are purchasing the fabric. I'm busy launching it, and so the best way to order is directly through me for now.
So you're creating fabric for interior design and fashion, you said?
It's turning out that way. I mean, it wasn't my intention. There's a million things I've wanted to achieve in this lifetime, and I've always wanted to sew. But more than being able to sew, I think it's being able to work with different fabrics, get a feel for design, see where the fabric that you're working with, where it takes you. It's very much an organic, spontaneous journey. I'll meet a client that wants a jacket done, and next thing we know, we've turned the fabric upside down. We've created some sort of interesting, dramatic placement. So I lean very much in the direction of custom making stuff for people that brings out the best of who they are, be it interiors, art, fashion. Yeah.
Caroline is really an inspiring artist, and hopefully you'll see her work in your country very soon.
I think this one here is called. I see Fred is given a different name, but that to me was sort of the experience when spring was being almost darkened by the COVID, and you had that sort of black element, and I see the same thing, the decay and the black coming in.
I like
and this was actually the last of the series, which I see as almost a total destruction, where it disrupted society.
Jan, tell us what inspires you in the work that you're portraying today. What is your collection called?
The main series is called The COVID, My Time, in the time of COVID-19. And it has been a very traumatic period for us. We've all been in lockdown. Your traveling has been curtailed. And I think it stumped us in a way that you couldn't interact with other people, and you virtually had to learn to live with yourself. And although I painted abstract paintings, I then got onto this idea of seeing how COVID's affecting me. And that's why I did the series, the COVID series, which is expressing my feeling, being hemmed in, the confusion, finding your way of all the fake news and the rules and everything that's been given. So that is it. Yeah.
How many pieces do you have in your collection, Jan?
Of this COVID, I've done 22 works, yes.
That's quite a lot.
Well, that's when the inspiration ran out.
Jan, how many years have you been painting, and where did you start?
I was born in 1937, so that makes me 37 years old. And I've been painting, I think, seriously from about the age of 20, 21. But I think probably from about the age of 30, I really find that it was very therapeutic in a way. And I enjoyed painting. And I think particularly, I stand it probably like everybody else as a landscape painter, which inspired me very much. But after the 1980, when I've been to America for a while, and 83 again, and seeing the amazing abstract work that's done in America, that swung me completely over to abstract, which I find is a lot more challenging and suited me better than your conventional landscape and still life.
Yeah, and what would you say about South African art? How do we compete with the rest of the world?
I think we're a little bit. Firstly, there's fantastic works being done. I think there's such a variety and great artists, but I think it leans too much to the representative. People still want to see a mountain or a beautiful flower or a lovely portrait. And to me, it's passé. I feel I need abstract, something a lot more challenging. And so that's where my passion is about, absolute abstract art.
I'm here with Chiara Cantor, one of Cape Town's most exciting artists. Chiara, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Your artwork is totally different. Tell us about that. What inspires you?
The moment of the day inspires me, which sounds like really trivial, but I've been painting and drawing, and I did my master's at the art school at UCT. I went when I was 60 and I graduated after that. So I've come to art in a more serious way later in life. And then one day I just had this feeling I want to work with beads. And near my studio there's a Chinese shop and they sell all kinds of beads. And I went in there and I bought loads of beads and I started drawing with beads. So it is very unusual. And I have an affinity almost with every one of my beads. And I said one day if I sell my work, I'd sell it by weight. Because if you pick up the paintings, some of them are heavy and some of them are light, depending on how many layers of beads there are.
Yes, your work is really inspiring. It brings out brings out such a lovely vibe into a room. Where do you go? Most artists go somewhere, is either in the mind, or to nature, or where do you go?
Well, I would say I'll tell you where I've come from.
Yeah.
I come from Calvinia, which is a small dusty village in the Karoo in South Africa, and the sky is blue. It's the coldest place in South Africa. It's freezing cold and boiling hot, and the colors are fantastic. And in summer, the entire desert, because it is a desert, is covered with flowers of every orange and mauve and yellow. So that landscape, I think, subconsciously inspires me. I'm also very intrigued by the universe and what is happening out there. And some of my pictures actually evoke that affinity that I have with the mysterious.
Yeah, because your work it's almost like it's got a 3D effect. It's not just a painting. It's got life to it. It brings life.
Thank you. I'm glad you noticed that because often I start with painting. So whatever picture you see here, they layered. There are many, many layers, and it's a combination of paint and beads. Sometimes more beads, sometimes less beads. So you'll see that, especially the green one, you'll see more of the painting comes through and a few of the beads, and the other work you'll see is like totally beads.
Chiara, it's so lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
I enjoy your artwork.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a great pleasure talking to you too. Thank you so much.
We have here now one of Cape Town's informal bands. They don't have a name yet, but what a lovely trio of musicians we've got here. Welcome and thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
You don't have a name yet, but you're a jazz band, really talented jazz band. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Zen. I play bass guitar in the band, and we play like sort of jazz music based in Cape Town. Yeah.
It's very unusual for such a young bunch of people to play jazz. Where did you guys start?
That's a long story.
I know I started my brother used to play saxophone and I was always trying to follow my brother, and then I started with there, and then I met a man called Hein and we started, we kind of eventually got hit through Hein. Found out Hein, he's an amazing double bass player, and he kind of...
That was kind of the common teacher for all of us.
Yeah.
He kind of introduced us to it, and then from there we've always had a love for it.
Yeah.
She kind of sparked the passion.
What instrument do you play?
So I play guitar, and I've been playing for quite a while, since I was about 9 or something. But I only really took it seriously when I was about 12 and I started practicing and getting into like jazz and stuff. And so since then, that's been like my main passion. I've been playing a few gigs around the area with Hein and some other musicians. So from then it's kind of been like all music.
And you, the lead singer, the
Yeah.
solo artist. You've got a beautiful voice.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Who chooses your songs?
We all do. Really, it's we talk about it. A lot of the times we choose a song we all collectively really enjoy doing, and then we make our own take on it, which is really lovely because it allows everybody to have a little bit of a input in it, because I guess it would be boring.
It's also nice, like we're following the tradition of jazz, but then like we also putting our own like spin on it. Which
Yeah,
is
we are
exciting.
playing jazz standards. So
Yeah.
it's like old traditional songs, but we're obviously young people. We want to kind of change it up, make it fresh.
Make it our
Zoosh
own
it up
kind of
and give
thing.
it your own stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. It's a good thing to do, especially now. You can meet a lot of people and you can include a lot of people into jazz that way. And I
Yes.
think that's kind of our overall goal, is just to be able to include as many people to come play with us and to enjoy it like we enjoy it.
And you are Cape Town based.
We all live in Scarborough, and we
Yeah,
currently
Scarborough. It's down south by Cape Point.
very
So
far.
we actually all lived there, started playing music there together.
Yeah.
And want to kind of broaden our horizons now.
Yeah.
Take on Cape Town. Who
Well,
knows
I
what
can
else.
say you can compete with anybody in the world because you're really such a high class act. So it's really a privilege to speak to you, and maybe one day you'll be out there, big CDs, and make
Hopefully.
waves in the world. Because you're such a young, talented bunch, and geez, so much going for you. But thank you for being here. I'm privileged to sit here with one of Cape Town's newest artists, Philanel. Welcome with us.
Thank you very much.
You've also entered some of your artwork here.
I have, yes.
What inspired you?
Well, I came back from China and I always wanted to paint. I painted since I was 18, and then I met some of these artists. We started collaborating and talking, and they got me into the mood and they encouraged me, and I started painting. I have about 9 pieces.
9 pieces here. Wow. You've been busy.
Yes.
Philo, you're not only an artist, you're not only painting, but you're also a composer,
Yes.
a very talented composer. How many pieces have you composed up to now?
Gosh, there's already like 50 pieces around.
Around your door.
Yeah.
I've heard some of Philo's compositions and it's really great.
Well, I like to paint from life. That's my preferred method of painting. For many years, I copied work, such as Monet's and Van Gogh's. It's like a way of learning. And then I started painting from life, open air painting. That's my favorite. So if I travel somewhere, fortunately, I've been able to go up the garden route to Jeffreys Bay. And these are 2 paintings from Jeffreys Bay. We actually sat outside. This is a guest house over here where I managed to stay for a few days where I could do this work. And then this one I actually sat on the back of my bakkie to get the scene. So it's from life. That's how I like to paint. That's what inspires me.
How long have you been painting?
Since 1997, much earlier. Must have been early 2000s. Just going the way of copying the masters, Monet's, Van Goghs, such as that, and then gradually, you gain confidence in doing your own original work. Once you feel you've gotten better with using paint, color, and your form, and so then I just graduated eventually to working from life, making my own original work. I've sold a few works, but just through private sales. I've had a joint exhibition, and I've been actually in the Art Times. I did attend it was a art festival at Basketbos, and some of my work was photographed and put into Art Times. That was a few years ago. But since then, I haven't really tried to market myself. So it's very much just doing what interests me for myself.
Since you went away, the day grows long, and soon I hear, oh, winter songs, and I miss you most of all, my darling.
Mainly I play the piano, but to be honest, I kind of selfishly played for me. I'm not much of a performer. I get quite nervous. But what I'm really into is film scoring and composing music for films. I don't know much about other places around the world. I've only been in Cape Town myself. But on the side of kind of playing the piano and composing music, I'm also a DJ. And I've played with like a few people, and I've played at some house parties. And yeah, I think the music scene is really good here. We have some seriously talented musicians. I take a little bit of influence from Carl Shepard, quite like his music, and then Kevin Smuts. I think they're probably, out of my local influences, they're probably my 2 biggest influences.